This week's hot take, we're going to the Coastal Division.
Mm.
So some coaches are on the hot seat. Some coaches have jobs safe. Even though I will say, Dabo Swinney, you did say you'd resign if players were getting paid. You did say you'd step down. So at any point, if you want to step down from Clemson, we would appreciate that. So,
yeah, now what happened to that, Dabo? Big talker. All talk.
Exactly. Be a man.
All talk and a bag of chips.
Well, he's not. He talks a big game, but we all know he's fake. He's the phony. We all know Dabo Swinney's the real funny. And then here comes the Clemson fans who are going to send the death threats on Twitter. So go ahead. But his job is safe. Mike Norvell can suck this year in Tallahassee. His job is safe because we don't have the money to pay for his buyout. But I do think we will have a winning season. I think we'll be safe. But there are two coaches in the ACC who will lose their job after this coming season.
Ooh.
And they both come from the Coastal Division. Sorry to say, I'm going to say it right now. David Cutcliffe from Duke and Pat Narduzzi from Pitt, I think they both get fired after the season. I think both Duke and Pitt have matching records this season. I think they both finished the year 4-8. And I think Cutcliffe, you've seen lately at Duke, has been, after winning the Coastal Division in 2013, getting slaughtered by Florida State in the ACC championship game. But he brought Duke. Let's give David Cutcliffe credit. He made Duke a respectable football program. Last few seasons, you've kind of seen him going more towards the downhill slide. I think 4-8 season this year, I think it's done for him. And I think Pat Narduzzi was a good coach at Pitt. He was a good coach, but I think that's another coach who has been living off of a few good wins once in a while. I think we had that win in 2017 over a Miami team that was ranked number 2 nationally. He's got a few good wins, but I do not think a 4-8 season will keep him employed. So I think my hot take this week, David Cutcliffe and Pat Narduzzi both lose their jobs after this season.
Sometimes, Jason, I take a bit of a shot at your hot takes. I very much enjoy this week's hot take.
Because?
Because it is truly a hot take in my estimation. I think it's a unique one. I think it is an insightful one. So on the David Cutcliffe topic, I will say, similar to what you had to say, he took over a horrible football program. It took him a long time to ramp it up. It took him like 5-6 years. Once he did, they had 6 or 7 really quality football seasons there of going 7-5, 8-4, roughly, highlighted by the championship game appearance. But they've been bad for quite a while now. It's been 3 to 4 years that they've been pretty awful. And so with him, you don't know, because the guy does have a lot of respect and equity with that program, and the program expectations are pretty low. But 4-8, you would think at some point, yeah, they're going to be looking for a younger guy to provide a spark, some energy, get that thing rolling. But David Cutcliffe has a ton of respect across the sport. Now, when it comes to Pitt, yeah, Pitt seems like they should go 7-5 forever. They're just kind of like the same football program all the time. 7-5, 7-5, 7-5, all over the place. Now, Narduzzi's actually done a decent job there. They play a difficult non-conference schedule typically. Now, this year, I don't see where they're not winning more than 4 games. I'm looking at their schedule right now. I see UMass out of the gate. There's a win. They go to Tennessee. Maybe they lose that game. That's a toss-up.
Come on. Don't doubt the Minutemen. Okay, you can doubt.
Never doubt the Minutemen. Okay. Western Michigan and New Hampshire. They're 3-1 right out of the gate.
All right. And
Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, Clemson, Miami, Duke, North Carolina, Virginia, Syracuse. So I think Pitt's going to be decent this year. I'm just not seeing that. But it is a hot take because that is an unconventional take right there. I enjoy that one.
Yeah, I think the thing that's going to hurt them is, and you look at the schedule and you mentioned the schedule, I'm pulling it up right now. So yeah, I agree with you. I think they do go 3-1 to start. But I think the thing that hurts them is you play Georgia Tech on the road. You play Virginia Tech on the road. You have to go to Duke. You have to go to Syracuse. And then you've got Clemson, Miami, and North Carolina who are all at home. I think they lose all 3 of those games. So there's 3-4 right there. I think they beat Duke. I think that's their 4th win. But I can conceivably see them losing. The Virginia game is a toss-up game because it's which Virginia team is going to show up. Is it going to be the Virginia team that we saw in 2019 or the Virginia team that stunk up the bed last year? So I think I agree with you. I think they're a team that could be a 6-6, 7-5 team. I just think things are going to fall on the bad side. So, Logan, what ACC coach are you putting on the hot seat other than your BFF, Mike Norvell?
My bestie.
Your bestie.
I forget. What was the record that Virginia Tech was last year?
Justin Fuente. He's on my hot seat. I've got a hot seat video out there. Justin Fuente is on that hot seat.
I forget what they went last year, but I feel like that was a complete letdown. They
went 5-5.
Yeah. I'd probably have either them.
6.
But they went 5-5, but I believe it's also they lost the one game to Miami at the end, and they could have beat Miami. That would have Thanks a lot.
Justin Fuente is under 500 after his first 2 seasons there. So they're not going to put up with that for long.
Yeah, no, he'll probably get maybe another season, but I mean, he's probably they're keeping a close eye on him. I mean,
and their recruiting classes have been atrocious, awful.
Yeah, where are they at right now?
They're they had like a recruiting class like 65 last year, something like that, 55 or 65. Awful.
Have you picked Blacksburg, Virginia?
Beamer got players there
because Beamer was a good team. Beamer had good, respectable teams. You can recruit great with good, respectable teams. Tallahassee used to be a crap hole until I all of a sudden came up there, and then it became the booming metropolis.
Then you fixed it all for them.
Absolutely, 100%.
I'm looking where they're at.
Next week's hot take is exciting, guys. Next week's hot take: what game does Florida State win to become bowl eligible? I will tell you when Florida State will go bowling. Stay tuned next week.
Okay, yep. Florida or Virginia Tech's last 2 recruiting classes, 43 and 76.
It's not bad. That averages out to about